Most homeowners, like you and me, we fall into one of two categories. Those who love mowing their lawns and those who hate mowing their lawns. Most people just don't like spending the time to do it. Even though I fall into the love category, I can totally relate because it takes a lot of time. On top of the demands of work and family and other activities, it takes me about 3 hours every week to mow all of my 10,000 square foot property twice to keep it looking in tip-top shape. What would you do with 3 hours of your life back in your week? Go to the gym, spend more time with your family? Well, you can have your 3 hours back now, and you're still gonna have the nicest looking lawn on the block. So this is the Mammotion LUBA all-wheel drive 1000, and to be completely honest, I had a lot of anxiety over trying out a robotic lawnmower on my lawn for the past month. When this box showed up at my door though, I was feeling totally excited like a kid the night before Christmas just to get this thing set up and watch what it could do. But I'll be the first to tell you, it is not perfect. No mower is. And I did have some frustrations, but this thing works great when you get all the kinks figured out. Every piece of technology has its quirks. Now, they did send me this lawnmower for free to do for this review, but that in no way influences my feelings on this thing, good or bad. According to the National Association of Home Builders, the median lot size of a new single-family detached home sold in 2017 stands at 8,560 square feet. That's just under 1/5 of an acre. This model, which is their base model, mind you, it can handle up to 1/4 of an acre, which is 10,890 square feet. That's right above that median value. And let me tell you, it's very, very satisfying to watch this thing pre-plan how it's going to cut your property and then watch it go fill in that zone back and forth. And what you won't see in the box is a perimeter wire or a boundary wire, and that's because LUBA runs off of GNSS, which stands for Global Navigation Satellite Systems with RTK technology and IMU sensors. And this means it can be super accurate, like more accurate than me because I forget my wedding anniversary every year, and it mows straight lines or like stripes into your lawn instead of bouncing around like a robot vacuum. And that's one of the strengths, but it's also one of the weaknesses of this lawnmower because I got super frustrated when I was setting this thing up in my backyard. It really needs a clear view of the sky, both the RTK receiver and ideally the mower, to get the best signal that it can. And I got a ton of trees in my backyard. I kept losing signal back there because of all the trees. It really made me frustrated and made me want to give up. But I moved the RTK to the front yard with a clear view of the sky, and things are running so much more smooth now. So pro tip, don't be like me. Just mount the thing on your roof or out in the open somewhere so you don't have to go through that. And what about those stripes at the end of a good mow? I mean, being able to look out across your yard, making it look like a baseball stadium, it's almost as refreshing as like a cool breeze on a hot day in a humid Michigan summer. But not to mention all those neighbors that stop by and ask you, while you're out there, hey, what are you putting on the lawn? It's a totally gratifying feeling. Now they're going to be asking you about this mower too. LUBA is controlled through a smartphone app, and it can manage multiple zones. You can set them on a schedule. It's got variable settings like cutting height, mowing patterns. It'll mow anywhere from as low as 1.2 inches up to 2.8 inches tall. And 2.8 inches, that might not seem like a lot, but let me tell you, you put that on a road map and boy, you got some miles now. And it's basically like you bought a smart remote controlled Formula One slot car. You just get to watch it race around your yard all the time, cutting your lawn. Remember back when remote control cars were cool? Man, some of those batteries were huge. And you know what else is huge? The upfront cost of this thing, because the base model here is $1,899 without any accessories. That kind of money leaving your bank account, that hurts. When you're buying something this expensive, it better be worth it. And it better be right when you take it out of the box, unlike your Taco Bell order from the drive-thru. So think about it this way though. How much does your lawn care service charge you per cut? $40-$50, and maybe you've got them mowing from like May through at least October around here. That's 26 weeks times $50. That's like $1,300 for one season of mowing. I mean, you're almost there already. And remember how I said it takes me 3 hours a week to keep my lawn cut, keep it tidy? Well, now you take a look at the hours. That's almost 78 hours every season Does that seem like a smart money or time decision to you? Well, just like smartphones, thermostats, all those other gadgets we have in our lives, LUBA's pretty smart too. It's got a battery. It's battery powered, 4.5 amp hour battery, and it automatically recharges itself whenever it needs to, even if it's in the middle of a mow. So that means it remembers where it left off, drops a pin on the map in the app, and unlike most married men like myself, it remembers things like where it stopped mowing and having to start over again after it charges back up. Now, mowing is a total zen moment for me. It's almost therapeutic. I put my headphones in, listen to my favorite music, just mow that grass. But being able to walk through the yard and take note of how green and lush the lawn is, that's even more of a reward for me. It's like seeing the fruits of my labor. All that effort I put into it, I get to go survey my results. So giving that up, even if it means more time in my pocket, it's a really big point of contention for me. But after a couple weeks of letting this thing exclusively mow my lawn, it totally dawned on me, I can still be out in the lawn. I might just not be behind a lawnmower. I might be able to micromanage fertilizers or micromanage weeds in the lawn, and that'll push it to the next level. And this thing's just a blast to watch too. You know how you put a sprinkler out in the yard and on a hot day, it's just like you could stand there and watch it go back and forth all day. You just can't keep your eyes off of it. It's the same thing with this mower. You just watch it go back and forth throughout the yard, climbs all the humps and bumps, and you're just waiting to see if it's going to run into something. It's really cool to watch. In those 3 hours, maybe some of that I can spend out time with my family barefoot in a fresh cut lawn. I mean, that sounds like summer to me. But when summer comes with those hot and humid temperatures, would probably rather be inside watching a video like this instead of sweating our butts off behind a heavy push mower going up and down the hills of our yards. But we don't have to do that anymore because this thing's all-wheel drive. It's got an independent electric motor on each wheel, and it can handle every bump and slope you throw at it. It climbs 65% slopes, even with those funny-looking omnidirectional front wheels and the front-end suspension. And those wheels work, too. They do not rip up grass in my yard, so I don't got to worry about all that green grass I've been working hard for getting ripped up. And I know what you're thinking, too. All your neighbors are going to want one. What if they want to steal it? Well, the thing's got anti-theft built into it. It basically makes this robot a paperweight if it's taken out of your yard. They can't do anything with it once it leaves your yard. And like I said, it's not perfect and nothing is. But you at least hope that if you're going to spend this much money up front on a nice piece of equipment, that you don't get let down with a missed performance like the McDonald's ice cream machine. Because seriously though, why is that thing always broken every time we go through the drive-thru? So has it lost satellite signal under some of the big trees in my yard? Yeah. Is it a lot of money up front? Yeah. You still have to weed whack the edges of your lawn. Yeah, and clean up every now and again. Do you lose some of the time that you got back because you're just staring out the window at this thing all the time like a creep? Yes, totally. But having the option to automate a task of your life like this with a robot really is a big convenience. And if you want to get out there and throw some lasers down one day, just shut LUBA off and go for it. But the big question is, are lawn care nuts like you and me going to adopt this technology now or in the future? Is mowing really going to be a trend of the past? I don't know. I feel like we're close. What do you think?